Yeah, no, it was an early day, but that was the best way to approach it. So, we got in there early and began setting up. Overall, the day went pretty well, but we definitely had some obstacles we had to overcome, and that's any kind of shoot that you get involved with. In this case, there was a lot of issues with time, and then, it was a lot of buzz too, since Too Short was coming out. It was going to be on the scene, so of course you get a lot of people that want to be around them and want to be, part of things. So we kind of had to navigate around those things, but overall it went pretty well.
Yeah, day one. I remember I couldn't really sleep. Had to leave the house. I think I want to say 1 something. I don't know, 1:30, something like that. Just set up, and just like any other shoot, time before you know it, it's 5 p.m. And as Pride was saying, yeah, there was a lot of navigation between press was there. Vince had press there, and then crew, other people just wanting to see what was going on. So I mixed that in with the tables and the chairs and our equipment. But just another day.
Rain dance. So me working and managing the club, I just, I would notice that a lot of customers, they tend to be a little cheap when it comes to throwing money, or I see the girls dancing. I'm like, you know what? I'm in this environment, and if I was a customer, I'd definitely be throwing money. So it's just something to kind of think about when you're at a club, and it kind of gave me something to say, you know what, I want to make a record where it's relatable to maybe a dancer or to even a customer that might go in the club and want to throw some money.
Oh, I was very excited to be a part of the project, and very grateful for that, And as far as, finding the girls for it, I have a lot of girls I work with and different things. And so I just tried to find the best ones I could. And I knew it would work for what we were doing.
Well, I left my house at about 1:30, got to the club at about 2:30 in the morning, and that's when the club was closing. And then Mike got there around the same time, so pretty much what did we do? We stayed up all night, all morning to the daylight shit, and I ended up working that night at the club, so I basically didn't get no sleep.
Well, I got there a little bit later. I got there probably around 8 o'clock, and they had already started filming. And so when I got there, I set up my equipment and stuff and kind of got a feel for what was going on. I noticed, everything seemed to be going pretty smoothly. And so I just, asked Mike what you need me to do. And so I set up my camera. We did some filming on the stage. And it went by really good and smooth, and
yeah, it was cracking. It was cracking. Yeah. It was dope, man. Shit, nah, that was cool. Shit, we it started off kind of slow, and then once the music got cracking, and then once Short got there, I said, let's get some shots, go to the bar, get things cracking.
Right, get the vibe
going. And shit, we took some shots at the bar, threw some money, actual money. Shit, it wasn't no play money, so we weren't fucking around. So I think I gave Short, I don't know how much I gave him. I think I gave him 5 right off the bat. Like, here's 5. And then I seen a picture of Roman. He must have had like another 5 on him. So then I was like, let's just fucking have fun. Let's throw some money. So each day, like, I threw real money. Like, I didn't fuck around. Like, it was straight up.
Right.
And even throwing real money, I don't think a lot of people know. They can see on the video. But after the real money, that was it. It wasn't like you handed everything back up.
Nah, I said, look, at whatever I throw you, I told the ladies, you can't keep it, split that shit. Put it in a bag and take it home.
Highlight of it, man, probably for me, the first time, our first take, that you first hear the song, as we're shooting. To me, that meant that, okay, here we go.
Yeah, for me, I think the highlight was probably, I want to say, just playback after the first couple of clips, when we recorded. And just kind of seeing how it was coming out already, it just got you excited. Being able to hear it, thump through the speakers, play it back, and then just see it looking how you want it to look.
Day 2, that was kind of like if day 1 was, the first half of a football game, the break between day 1 and day 2 would be our halftime, our adjustments, our plans to try to be more productive, at least from our standpoint, as far as what we did from day 1 to day 2. So we had time. So day 1 was 12/5, December 5th. Day 2 was January 1st. So we had plenty of time to kind of go over stuff, test stuff. And so I felt a lot better going into day 2. And I think it comes across that way, footage-wise. We had more. We actually had, I think, 5 or 6 girls here, I think, whatever it was. Different setups, water setups. Not only Vince on the song, but Roman, doing the hook and stuff. So there was a lot of moving parts, but and smaller space too. But the prep time and, like I said, the halftime of it made for a better shoot, I think, in my opinion.
Yeah, definitely. The prep time was, it made all the difference, because from day 1, we really didn't get a chance to get in there and really, kind of run through like a full kind of prep stage. It was more kind of just prepping as much as you can, but just kind of having to go off the cuff once you got in there. Versus day 2, we were already able to get in here and get into the space and, kind of do a full mock-up before the shoot. So that always helps, because preparation is always key.
Yeah, it's got a break right here. Hold on, cut it.
And, definitely, it was cool to get a different kind of energy because we had different girls on set from day 1 to day 2, so you get different vibes from different people. And that also was cool to just feel that different energy out there combined with the preparation. And so, I think just with any production, the more you go through it, the longer you're on it, the more you kind of settle in. And so I think we really kind of started finding our groove by day 2.
For me, that was part of it. There wasn't a time constraint. I know for day 1, the club, we had to be out of there by 3 p.m., So we already had that staring down at us, the second we walked in. So day 2, being that we're here at Fat Studios, it was a little more a lot more wide open, in that aspect. So day 2 was a lot less stressful than day 1, at least in my opinion of it.
Yeah, I think, like what Michael's saying, a lot of it comes down to the level of control, And so on day 1, we kind of had to play by the parameters set by the people, And then day 2, we had a lot more control. And so whenever you have that, it's easier to, to be more confident and to be able to get through the day, with a lot less that you have to kind of deal with. And so having that control made all the difference.
Shit, day 2, what day 2 felt. So day 1 was dope. I liked it, you know what I mean? But day 2 just felt a little more organized for some reason. There's a little bit more it was just.
Yeah, it's more contained here, so.
Yeah.
We didn't have to worry about all these other aspects of a bunch of other people that were there on day 1. We could control the lighting a little better, and like I said, we were definitely more organized.
Yeah, and I feel like the girls too. We had a different type of girls. I like the girls on day 1, but I think day 2 the girls came out a little heavier, and shit. I was digging the girls on day 2 and day 1. Don't get me wrong, day 1 too, but there was just a little bit more on day 2.
Right.
Shit, I thought the water idea was pretty dope. So Mike Santana and Mike Pierce, I believe, one of them came up with that idea. But I thought that was fucking dope as hell. I didn't know how it was gonna look. It looked good from what I was looking at, but I didn't know how it was gonna look on film. But now looking at it, it looked pretty good.
Oh, I was thinking, we're going a step higher than day 1, and with the collective, team effort that we possessed, it made it a lot better shoot than I think day 1.
So once you look at day 1 and then day 2, I talked to Vince and Pride and Jamie, and just to see, maybe we need a little something more, because you can kind of feel it as you edit. At least for me, you can feel the rhythm, you can feel if something's missing, and I felt we just needed one more, and day 3, man, I'm glad we did it, because you can argue day 2. I was talking to Pride about this. You can argue day 2 and day 3, which one was stronger. You know what I mean? Because I thought you'd think day 2 would be, but day 3, man, that was really strong. So those 2 days were a necessity. it kind of leaves day one as, on the back burner in comparison, to the 3 days.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at it, like I was saying before, it's kind of like the more you get to work on a project together, the more you get to kind of compare notes and prep, the stronger you're going to get. And that's, it's really evident in how day 3 came about, and then credit to Michael Santana, since, he was the director, and so it's been his vision for the whole thing. And then also as the editor, you get the double bonus of being able to not only have the vision, but then also to be able to see if you feel like you're executing it the way you want to execute. And so he really, like he said, he felt like he wanted some more oomph, with the video. And so he came up with some really clever ideas to try to, push it to another level. In this case, one of those was implementing a projector, on one of the ladies' faces or whatnot. And so, same kind of deal. We got a chance to come in and prep and test that out, and and you really can see. I mean, it's easy to see which days we were able to prep for adequately and which days we weren't able to prep for adequately, but just got it done. When you watch that. So day 3 definitely was a beneficiary of us being able to prep.
Well, the third day was more concise on the fact that we were just concentrating on a few shots, and so I think, along with that and the girls that we chose for day 3, I think it made everything just hit perfect.
Yeah,
It couldn't have been better.
It definitely came together. Yeah, everything came together as day 3, because I think me and Mike, once again, I said, hey, I think we need one more day. And that shit came together. We did the whole money thing again. I felt like we need a little bit more of that. He had a couple of cool ideas as far as utilizing the water, bouncing it off a projector. I thought that was cool. The overall visual of it, pretty dope. I think for me being independent, I think this shit definitely pops. The feeling is, I'm ready to show everybody what we worked hard on, and I feel like every project that we have done so far, from the So Loaded to this, I think that it's a step up, and I mean I'm happy with it overall. I'm pretty content with it.
Well, I'm definitely very proud of what we all achieved, and I think people will see this videos for years to come. And they're gonna look back at it and say, "Wow, that was a pretty good video," and that alone, says a lot.
Yeah, from what we were doing on an independent level, definitely, man. Because I'm like, and I think my little swagger is a lot different from what other people are trying to do. Because I'm more, like I said, got that player Mac shit cracking, and I feel like it's a little bit different than what other people are doing. And I sound different, so that's what I'm kind of bringing. And I think that me and Short collaborating with it, I think it just fits for what I'm doing.
Well, I think it starts as a collaborative team efforts when I look at it. You know what I mean? I could say, well, I thought about maybe we can do this shot, but see, it doesn't. As I'm editing, I know what it took. You know what I mean? So I know that I talked to Pride. Hey, this is what I'd like to achieve. And then he adds more to that I didn't even see. And same with Jamie. You know what I mean? Jamie had this thing painted. That's huge. I mean, that changed the whole look of this. Credit to Jamie on that. Credit to Pride on a lot of the shots, especially from day 1. That with the spotlights and thing and the with those tables that kind of lit up and flashed.
Yeah, the cubes.
I was just like, let's put Too Short here and see what happens. Because everything's going on. You're trying to beat the clock. And it means a lot more, you know what I mean? So that's what I see. I guess, I don't know, somewhere in there's an answer, but,
Yeah, I mean, most def, it's, like you're saying, when it comes down to the team, that's really, with any project, man, that's really what's going to take your project from being a situation where it gets done to where you elevate the project, you know what I mean?
Sure.
So, across the board, we had a solid team, on the whole thing, and it started with, with first of all, Invincible even, making the song and being determined that he was going to have a Too Short on the song, and then coming down to getting a director like Michael Santana, you know what I mean, and him having the vision to kind of see what he wanted to do, what he was inspired to do, with that joint, you know what I mean, and then coming to myself and Jamie and others, you know what I mean, and just kind of saying, look, this is what we're trying to achieve. and then, you know, us going out and achieving it. And part of that team is the fact that we all also have our own sets of gear and things like that. So, you know, if I was short in one area, I can lean on Jamie and he has it, you know what I mean, and vice versa, or, you know, with Santana, etc. You know, but more than that is kind of the mental capital, you know, the ideas that come up and the ways to execute those ideas. And so all that stuff kind of played a part in us being able to get this video done as well as it is.
Looking back at it, some of the water stuff that I actually prepped for and that we prepped for, and I went in confident, but you look at it and you go, well, I probably could have made that, you know, the water look a little better. So, of course, you know, you're gonna look at all your stuff and go, well, I should have done this and should have done that. So I think for me, that's probably one of the downfalls. As you can see, the adjustment that we made on day 3, actually that Pride made with the double PVC pipes behind Vince, was probably what I was looking for on day 2. But, you know, you just take it, it's a learning experience, you know what I mean? So it's a positive. As far as pitfalls or negative aspects of it looking back, I don't know, I can't really think of anything right now. I don't know, I have to think about that, you know.
Yeah, no, I definitely hear you, you know what I mean? And like you said, with pitfalls, I mean, obstacles, there's always gonna be obstacles on any set, and this was no different, you know what I mean, from, you know, timeliness issues at times with different people involved, you know, and it's just what it is. I mean, we're out in Southern California, traffic is what it is. So, you know, those things come up, you know, like he mentioned with the, you know, with the rain machine that he had put together, you know, and it wasn't just him. I mean, you know, I co-signed on it too, etc. It's just that sometimes when you get in the field with something, it may perform differently than it looks on paper, even when you have it all kind of built out or whatnot, until you get a chance to actually manipulate it, you know what I mean? And so that, you know, it was one of those things where it's good enough for, like a phrase my pops used to use, good enough for government work, you know what I mean, or whatnot. So, you know, it wasn't gonna, you know, blow you away with the way it performed, but it definitely was solid enough to get the job done, and it's not gonna detract from it. It's just that we would have liked a higher standard with it that we were kind of able to start achieving on day 3, you know, and definitely could do, you know, way better, you know, now. And that's just kind of how things roll a lot of times, you know. But yeah, you know, I mean, it's as far as, you know, negativity or whatnot on it. No, I mean, it's been a great experience. Learned a lot. Had a chance to interact with a lot of people, make some more connections, do something I'm very proud of. You know what I mean? And I'm just excited to, you know, for it to get out there and to see how it does.
Yep. All right. And cut.
Fuck off me, man. No.
All right.
My girl out of Atlanta, Crystal Moore. So she's you know, I kind of she's the one who kind of set up the short thing. But we did the song. So my boy Nasty sent me the song, and I was like, it's Symes Carter. So he's brewing up right now with that Oh No song. But he sent me the beat, and I don't know, for some reason there was 2 beats I heard, and I said, you know, I'm gonna get short on one of these, and we recorded the song, and I said, you know what, I'm gonna fucking get short on it. So I said it from the very gate, I'm gonna get short on this shit, and took a little while, but Short jumped on it, and it was a wrap.
Let me see you rain, 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 rain down. I'm talking to you.